upstairs, I think. Bastard. Just not been good the last few days. I can't find it. I've got about 10 of them upstairs, all different types. Or 6 different types. I've got some of the same multiple ones in the house, keep forgetting it. It's just been terrible today with the weather. All like, what do you call it? My nose running and everything. It's not so bad now, it was earlier on. It seems to have calmed down a bit. I was not fucking on, it was only me. On my own. I'm a dancing with myself. I'm dancing with myself. And then hit. I'm a dancing with myself. Billy Idol. We used to spend every night that we used to have work in a club called in the Africas. There's 2 girls coming, like models, and they used to come on, right, sort of suspenders, high heel shoes, and like a wedding thing on there, like a veil. And they used to dance in there, the young lad, he was about 20-year-old, like he was gay. The brilliant dancers there, they used to come in every night. That was their act. And then it was a nightclub. It was up till 1, but people would every day, every night, they'd be open 7 days a week. They used to have an entertainer like Chubby Brown and Bernard Manning and the 4 Tops going, oh, go down and Acapulco. Graham, him off Hot Chocolate, he was there. Loads of Eddie Kidd come one night. We were on the door waiting, so all this crowd, all the young lasses and that, all obviously fancied Eddie Kidd. Stood on the door waiting. Anyway, this lad comes to the door, he says, can I get in, mate? He went, I was just waiting for this daft cunt called Eddie Kidd. He went, I'm Eddie Kidd. Fucking he was Eddie Kidd. I said, God, mate, we're already messed about. We know who you are. I was dead quick, no fast. Yeah, we're just waiting for this fucking idiot Eddie Kidd to come with all these kids were screaming on the door. Young lasses and that. Yeah, he come for the night. He's bad now. He's not very well. He had a couple of crashes. Just killed me tonight. Just wait for some coming on. I've set it on already. It's going to get me a net tail. I can't breathe properly. My chest killing me. Fucking lost me inhaler in here. I've got a blue one, a yellow one, a brown one, a white one. Can't find fucking any of them. You'll have had it away. I thought she's like. She's snapping me. There's one over here as well. Brown one. Shit, friend, me throat. How do me? Trying to get out. Emma, get us in here. I can't breathe. Probably my chest killing me. I don't know. It was 3 in here and there's loads upstairs in the drawer. Chest absolutely chock out. Friend, me throat. Can't breathe. Being all there, it's not there.
I see one here the other day.
There's 2 in here with the blue one and there's like a yellowy colour, brown colour, yellow one with brown bit. I don't use the other ones because they're too powerful. Them other ones you get, the ones I've got upstairs are white. This is powerful as well, this one, but not as powerful. The brown ones, the blue ones aren't so bad, but the brown ones can give you infections. They can give you, knowing you take it, and give you an infection in your throat. That's why you get that like saliva in your throat. Through these inhalers can give you infections because they've got steroids in them.
Okay.
Yeah. Can't even push it.
What?
Just unbelievable how quick it changes. What happens is I was born with asthma, and if you're born with asthma, you get all sorts of things like, say, it's the bed mites, dust mites, dog hairs, cats. If I go in the barn, with a straw and that, sneezing like that, go outside with a tree, but it's the sap. It's actually, the people think it's the flowers that make you, my nose is itching again now. It's actually not the flower as much flowers made me. It took her years to realise. She kept putting sprays on, having panic attacks and everything with it. I said, I'm telling you, fucking, and I started shouting that one day. She didn't realise how bad it was. I told the doctor, he went, oh no, you can't spray it in front of him. He's really, really allergic to me. Could have a massive panic attack. It can give you a stroke. So the flowers make me sneeze like that. That's why you'll see me sometimes my eyes are pouring or wet. They're not so bad today. Just had his hair there, cut me bloody self. Coming on scruffy. I always come on smart, different clothes every night and then come on there, smart, because you're coming on here and entertain people. You look like a fucking tramp. Don't forget to push the like button, 52 watching. I didn't think there'd be that many on, to tell you the truth. I thought you'd all be watching football. So I'm going to go on at about 8 o'clock. So I'm going to tell some stories about the taxing days, stuff like that. So some cheeky bastards. And you'll see why, when you hear these sort of stories, you'll realise why I started taxing people, because they were taking the fucking piss. So I worked on the dog with a lad called Cockerill. He used to run me about. He used to drive me all over. And I didn't start driving. I was about 25, learned to drive. And I passed when I was 26. So I didn't have a car. I used to get people to run me around. So I got an SRI, and it was blown, the engine. The head gasket was blown, but it was an SRI. It was like a yellowy colour with a red SRI right across the car. Beautiful car for my first car. Sloppy gearboxes on them. Didn't have leaky windows, but it was fucking lovely sports car. So what happened? The engine wasn't great. So my mate, he got a GTE or a GTI. I can't remember the GTI, the white ones. And he took the engine out of that because it was a stolen car allegedly. And he put the GTE engine in. This I was like, it was only about a year old. The GTE, put it in. It was fucking flying. It did about 135, flying. Because the only other car I used to drive was an XR2i. That was a nice car with the little lights on. You know, like a rally type one. It was a deer Mark II, I think it was. Best one I ever drove. And I was going, fucking thing's not working properly when the person was teaching me how to drive. Fucking shite this, it's not working right. You know, like a toy broker, so a little kid. You just do it dead slow, don't you? Put the gears in. So I'm out with Bob Raw one night. So Bob Raw's sweating the dollars. Anyway, I jumped in the car, I'm driving. The big squad car came behind me, so I booted it down through Norton Village. Goes through the village, and I come on to where the A19 is. I could have went down the A19, and there was a big roundabout. So I went round the roundabout. He come after me, and I pulled the brake, and he was maybe a couple of minutes behind me. So by the time he come, I jumped over this big fence, got over the fence, went to the girl's house I was living at the time, got out her phone, say a car had been stolen. So anyway, they come to the house to see her, and he said, oh, I know, I was recognised you and all that, but I was about 200 yards down the road from it. It was pitch black. It was late night. It was about 1 o'clock in the morning. So I got over the fence. So I had to go in. So went to the police station, he said, I seen you reverses. And I said, well, if you see me do all these things, why didn't you come in? Why haven't they been arrested? Anyway, they couldn't prove it was me because it was too dark, you know, the distance away. Jumped over the fence before he came around the corner type of thing. And he only seen me getting into the car from right down the other end of the club. So I got off with it. And I'm not guilty, I got on with that. So I thought I'm going to have to pass my test. So then I passed my test. Got my car. So it's 1991. I met Lee. I had the fight in 91. We teamed up. But before I met him, I was doing a few debts with a lad called Cookie from Redcar. A few doors, and I used to take us on drives about. So I was renting a car from this place. It was a Hyundai, I think. It was shite them days. Brilliant now, but they were fucking shite these days, right? So it was brand new, actually, about 6 months old. So I went to this bloke, and I said, how much to rent them? I think it was like 40 quid a week or something. So like 160 £160 a month. So I was like, yeah, brilliant. So I give him like the money. I paid up front, and then I go. So anyway, he phones me up after about a month. I didn't owe any money. I was supposed to go back and pay for some more money. So he said, oh, could you do a debt? Because I was fucking massive. I was huge. Oh, yeah, I can collect debts. He said, well, what it is, I'm a butcher, but I've got that place. That's my son runs that place, the car place where you're at. I'm such and such. He tells me his name. He says, near Lowcocks, you know, where you get the lemonade from, that company just down there near the, I can't remember what it's called now, where you go to Transport Bridge, not Transport Bridge, the other bridge, Middlesbrough Bridge, is it? Cannon Park. See that flash there? Fucking lightning or something there. Anyway, Cannon Park's, I'm in there. She says, oh, well, if you get the debt in, I'll give you a good drink. So I said, how much? He went 50 grand. I went, 50 fucking, no, me had 50 grand. I fucking hell. I've never seen 50 grand in my fucking life. So anyway, I go to this place. He had this big abattoir, like a place where they kill the animals. And he's a big fat cunt. He was like him off that Elliot, you know, the big fat cunt off Coronation Street. I say Ainsley. That big fat fuck. He's like him, Fred they called him. This bloke, I can't remember his name now. But he looked like him, big fat cunt. And the other one was like a big fat cunt as well. He was a butcher. But he used to get his meat. Anyway, he owed him 50 grand for this debt. It was about 6-year-old. And he beat the court and I couldn't get it. So I said, listen, mate, my name's Brian Cockerill. This is my friend Paul. We're here to collect a debt for, say, Tom Smith, just for instance. Butchers, such and such. He went, I said, stop stuttering, calm down. No one's going to, no threatening you. No, because what you got to do if you go to somebody saying, give me that money, I'll smash your fucking face in, then you get done for money. Asking for money with menaces, no, asking for money with menacing or demanding money with menaces, 6-year jail automatic. Then you get more added on. I'll probably get fucking 20 euro. I'm like, I said, no, you owe the money. So yeah, you owe the money, but could you give me time to pay it? Of course I can give you time to pay it. He said, well, how long have I got? I said, well, the quicker you get it paid down, but I'm with you back. And I said, if you've got any debts, I'll collect any information. I haven't got none, thank you. So anyway, I got a phone call about 3 or 4 days later. He phoned me up, the big fat fucker, both fat cunts. So he said, he's come down. He's given me 35 grand. He's only given me, no, that's what he said. He's only given me 35 grand. He said he's going to pay the other next week. Cheeky bastard, you know what I mean? I'm thinking, I've just got you 35 grand. So it goes the next week, goes back to the blokes, and he says, oh, can I give it to you? I said, yeah, give me the 15. Just give me a piece of paper, sign for it and everything for him. And it was all done. So it gives the bloke the 15 grand. Anyway, he says, I'll just put that in the bank. No, Brian, I'll sort you out tomorrow. I'll give you a good wage tomorrow. I said, oh, brilliant, thanks very much. So it goes in, he's fucking gullible, see, not fucking only been on the job, like, you know, doing this type of thing. Not long, you know, not clever, yeah. So it goes back. That charge 50% now. So somebody says to me, Brian, the lad owes me 10 grand. I say, what type of debt is it? Is it in a court case? You know, been to court, we've lost it, we can't get it. We've tried solicitors, we've tried banks, we've tried everything to sue them, we can't do nothing. So then it's a dead debt. You're never going to get your money. So if somebody owes you 10 grand, and I turn around and say, right, 50%, they'll go, that seems a bit strong. I said, a bit strong. Well, isn't 50% in your pocket better and 50% in my pocket than 100% in his pocket? He's going to get a lesson because he's getting the money took off him. No one's going to do it again because you get I'm collecting the debt. And oh yeah, that sounds good, and then it makes him feel better. But the greedy people, so this fat bastard, I goes back to if you, I didn't even know what to ask. I was going to say 2 grand or something, you know, when only been fucking not doing it long. But my mate said, you probably get about 10 grand off of me. So I said, no, I'm happy with 2 or 3 grand, mate. I'll be over the moon. Give my mate a grand for with it, and then fucking have 2 myself, because you're talking 1990 might have been even, 1990, 91. So he says, I'll go down and see our such and such. I can't remember, Mark, I think it was. Go and see Mark. He's renting the cars out. So it was only, like I say, one of them fucking Hyundai things, a pile of shite them days. Probably about 5 grand the car, all in, right? So he says to me, oh, my dad says, well, another 160 euro, keep that. He said, and then next month, don't pay us there, then that's your wages. I went, say that again, I'm lost there. So I've just got you 35 grand and 15 grand, like 50 grand in the last week. And you want to give me, just keep the money for the car, what I owe you, which is 160 quid. I think you're taking a fucking piss. I'll knock you fucking out, you daft cunt, in a minute. I want 3 grand off you, you cheeky cunt. Oh, I'm not paying that much and all that. So anyway, so I said, right, you're not paying that, yeah? So the car, so I got in the car, you get no car back. So they went to the police. What happened? It wasn't the kid. It was the greedy cunt. It was the dad. So I used to do the eve. The kid used to get him in the top deck and tell him to rent it for us. So I met him in the top deck. I said, what's he fucking playing at him? He said the fucking piss in the cheeky cunt. I said, he's not getting the car back. So he said, oh, he's already been to the police, Brian. I'm just letting you know. And the police have been. I said, don't give a fuck, you're not getting it. So the cops went in. So what did the police say? He said, well, there's 2 CID come. He said, you do know it's Brian Cockerill, don't you? You know who he is, don't you? Did you explain who he was? He said, so you're telling me you had a dead debt? The copper said to him, this is the lad telling me the story. And Brian's come and got the 50 grand back and give you £50,000, right? And you're wanting to give him, so you're up £50,000 now. And you win you for 140, you win you for 160 quid. So let's say the car's worth 5 grand, he said. But you were owed £50,000. He's got you 50 grand. Let's say the car's worth 5 grand. You're up 45,000 fucking pound. There's no trouble. If we go to him now, we go to Brian Cockerill's house today, knock on the door, you'll have him. He'll have sent somebody here. See all your cars are in here. Everyone will be burnt to the ground. Everything you butchers, the lot. Everything will be gone. The whole lot. So he's saying he is powerful, Dad. He is. Whatever. Somebody's trying to get me out of the thing, so I'll not get in trouble. Anyway, I'll keep the car. So I'll give it to Craig Howard. I got remanded. So when I was on remand, he sold it for 2,600 quid and give the money to the person I was living with. What a cheeky bastard. Trying to have me over for the fucking money. So after that, I just used to say, we used to do this when you go knock, say somebody goes double glazing firms. I did loads for them. So people are getting double glazing firm in. cost you 30 grand for this. So they'll pay something like 15 grand up front, and they'll have to pay something every month for 6 months, or over 6 year or 5 year, whatever. So we'll pay for 6 months, and they'll just say, oh, there's a crack in it now, we're not paying any more money until you have a look. So that was the con, and people wouldn't come out because it was a fucking nightmare. So they used to say to me, it's not the principle. No, it's not the money, right? It's the principle. So I used to say to them, I'll tell you what then, it's not the principle. It's only the principle. Is that what you're interested in? I said, okay then. Well, I'll keep the money and you keep the principle when I get the money. Is that all right? Oh, no, but you've just said it was the principle. You keep the principle and I'll keep the fucking money. It was never, only ever once it was the principle. It was these Asian firms, 2 Asian firms were arguing. One had a garage, jet washing cars, and the other one had the same where they changed tyres and that. They lived just on as you go down to Middlesbrough. And I got 3 grand off them. And I said, here's half the money. They went, no, we're happy with that because we'll make that money back in a couple of months. He said, because they won't be able to come in here now. So we've got your post security as well, I give them. So that was it. But yeah, some people are just greedy cunts. So I'm in the club in Stockton. There's a girl in there that was going out with my mate. It was his missus. And she's about 25, he's about 25. And they had a house in Hardwick. But these people lived in Middlesbrough and they were coming through. And they were dropping gear off in my fucking area, Stockton, cheeky cunts. And she said, oh, sometimes they drop like 30 grand. I went, yeah, much? We had 30 grand with the fucking gear off. And we give them to 3 people when they come. So I said, well, you phone me when they drop straight away. So she phoned me. I tried to get them where they had the money. The money got put back to them because the people that pay for the money pay for the gear and get it. I tried to get both, you know what I mean? But I couldn't. So she said they've dropped the E off, but they've took the money. She said, because I wanted to get both. So I was lucky just to get that. So what happened is we've gone to the house, me and another lad. And as we've gone to the house, they're there at the door. But they'd already put the fucking E behind the back of the settee in this lass's house. So I'm like, open that fucking door, you selling gear, my fucking patch, mate, drama queen, I could easily kick the door in. But when they're in the back, it was like a council house in Hardwick, like rough area in Stockton. And you went in that way and you went left there to the living room, you went there and upstairs. But if you went out that way to the back, there was like a big all the old houses, like pre-war, had these big, like, not a bunker, it was like a washing room, or, you know, it was like a garage, but it was all brick and a roof and everything, like a tarmac and a roof. And there'd be like a washer and a dryer in there. So it would be an outhouse type thing, quite big. So they were trying to get out. There was 3 of them trying to get out the fucking back window. One's jumped out. He was a big lad, about 18 stone. He's ran like fuck shit himself. And they've run like fuck. They've gone around the other end because they've packed the cars around the back of the house. Anyway, we've let them get away, but we've got the fucking E's now. We took the E off the fuckers. 30 grand of the fucking E we had. But we just sold the cheeky cunts coming into my town selling gear. Anyway, I caught them again. I caught him in Middlesbrough this time. I went to his door and anyway, I threw a punch and he fucking ducked. And I missed him. And I grabbed him by his hood on the back of his jacket and pulled him back like that when he was running down the street and dragged him back. And I threw him in the house and I got 2 grand off him on the doorstep. Cheeky cunts, no using your name and then fucking trying to get you in trouble. Oh, yourself, all Brian Cockerill and all that cheeky little bastards. Yeah, it was happening. That's why I started taxing them, because they were using my name. They were going, so what happened is, me and Teddy got a debt. This was a bloke, a cigarette man, and he owed 40 grand for these fags. So he gave his word. He was from York. So he said, he give his word. If out goes wrong, you get your money back. So this lad we knew from this area put the 40 grand in, and he had a business, like a furniture business. But he was bringing them over in settees and they were getting put on the dock. So what happened, you know, the big containers you get put on the dock, that had come over. So I knew the lad who owned the dock, most of the dock, one Sean Day's mates. He said, oh, the containers over there, he said, they put it on the bottom instead of the fucking top. They won't be able to take that down for another week or so. So the fags were in a settee. You know, these settees are coming over from China. It takes 6 weeks to come over in these big, massive containers. And anyway, it never happened. And he lost the fucking fag somehow. And I know they scammed it. So we got the address for a lad and we had to go to York. So we goes to York, all the way down the A19, turned off. There's a road this way you can go. Then you go back down through the city. So we found the place. We went to the lad who was a taxi driver in case we had got caught with that money coming back. But he never had the money when we got there anyway. We got a taxi driver to take us because of 30 quid. And he was over the moon just having a laugh. He had something to eat in York. And goes to this place. So there was about 6 lads out the back. It was about 12 o'clock. They must have come off the dinner. They were putting furniture upstairs and that. It was like reproduction furniture, a big warehouse. It was fucking huge, a bit like B&Q, not as big as B&Q, but half the size of it. But it was full of furniture, and he had a little tie bed with him, and a tiny little kid. Bought his fucking wife, Thailand, and I said, he said, "Oh, I've been waiting for the naughty people coming." Teddy said, "Teddy Dick went, we are the naughty people. We are the naughty people." He said, "You've owed this money now for 6, 7, 8 months. You take the fucking piss." "No, but I'll get the money. I promise I'll get it." He said, "Can you give me 2 weeks?" He said, "No, we'll give you 2 weeks. We're going to have to pay something for the bill." So he gives us a couple of grand. So we had to go back in 2 weeks. So about 12 days later, he phoned. He said, I've got the money. Can I pay it off now?" I said, "Yeah." So we went back and we got the money off, but he was over the moon because he thought he was going to get good hiding off someone or battered, because the people who we ripped off were our friends, you see. So they got their money, we got our money. We ended up getting half the money anyway, so we were happy, with the debt. We got about 9 grand each. And we paid a couple of people off for the debt we got. The taxi driver gave him a grand to take us twice. Because you need people. You don't want to be in court. See, if you have a taxi driver and the money's in a bag, you've got no fingerprints on it, you put it in like a snooker bag. There's no DNA on it, and you say, "Oh, well, I picked 2 lads up before. They must have put that money under there." So you're always better using a taxi or something. You say, "Well, it's not my car. It's not my car. It's a taxi driver's. He's a taxi driver." And you say, "Well, I picked 2 lads up just before I picked these up, and they had me dropping. They look dodgy, had me all over, look like drug dealers." You get off of it. You've got to use your fucking brains. You get greedy, cunts, think, "Well, I'll just go and get all the 40 grand for myself." You better having somebody with you to back you up. But you can't do everything. So that's what happened. Sorry. So these four lads come forward in another show, and they put their hands up a bit. I went, "Listen, what you do for a living, I respect you, but I fight for money for a living, and I tax drug dealers for a living." And I said, "My name's Brian Cockerill." "That's him off back and tell you." He went, "Oh, fuck that." And I said, "Listen, guys, you won't last fucking 10 seconds. Believe me, I'll hit the first 2 years, the rest will run away now. Fuck off, go on." Anyway, they went upstairs. He went, "No, go away, go away." He said to the poor bloke who was the boss of them. They were trying to help the boss, but they were only just fucking didn't want 8 young lads. Just lads working for a living, we didn't want to do that. So then what was the other ones I think of? Quick funny one, this. So I'm going for lead off here. I'm in this fucking Hyundai fucking thing, this blue thing. The light colour blue it was. Like a moonstone blue, was called it. So I'm driving for Lee, picks him up, goes to his house, picks him up with his mum's. I'm waiting for him. He's on the front. Brenda, the coffee man. "Do you want a cup of coffee, big fella?" She always called me big fella. He did. He used to call me big fella all the time. So I said yes. Anyway, he goes in, had a coffee, having a laugh and that. He's always laughing, joking, Duffy. He was always fucking about, always fucking playing pranks on people. So we're coming up. Thanks, Stephen Gibbons. Thank you very, very much. God bless you, mate. If you'd like to buy us a coffee down below, the link's there, guys, for the channel. Help us out. So me and Lee's driving along the street, and we come up the zebra crossing. It's still there now. It's there. And this fucking lad's walking across the road, about 12 stone, about 40 odd year olds, maybe less, maybe 30 odd year olds, something like that. And he says, "Oh, kind of between 20 odd year olds, about 24, something like that, 25, 26, same age as me and Lee, but it must have been the same age because he went to school with him." He said, "See him there? Stop the car, big fella." So I stopped the car. "What's the matter?" He went, so he's walking across the road. There's a couple of kids, so he waits for the kids going. So he ran out. He said, "Remember me, you cunt? Remember when I was 6 years at school and he used to bully me?" He fucking slapped him. Never punched him because I took a little bit and knocked him out, but he slapped him with the palm of his hand, knocked him on his ass, went flying. Motorsports Buggies, you okay, brother? Let's go through these. Stephen Gibbons, Jake, Motorsports, 1986 vote reform. Brother, you're okay, brother. I'll be phoning him tomorrow, mate, because I've just been that busy today, that lad. Stephen Gibbons, Timmy B, are you? Timmy B's in the house. Mark Emerson, are you, Mark? Are you okay, son? Jack, Timmy B again. Carson TV, okay, Carson, Darren. That's about all of us now. Stephen's on the bottom there. So anyway, he's given him a fucking slap, and he broke his fucking jaw type of thing. He said, "That's what you fucking 6 of them used to get me all the time, every day. Same fucking gang." So he jumped in the car with me. He didn't ever batter him, he just gave him a slap. But he remembered him from school all the years. He never forgot a face. It was really good. I remember he was always good. He always just looked after lads in jail. So one day he was in jail. And I think it's when he offered Paul Sykes out. He offered Paul Sykes out in Durham. Sykes fucking shit himself. So Sykes is the lead off. He's on the wing. He's just come in, and he's 20-year-old. And usually you have to be 21 to go to the big jail. Because he's that fucking big, he's got 15 stone with a six-pack, he's only 20-year-old, so he's coming like that, fucking full of frisk. I think Paddy Conroy might have been in the same time as him. So he's come on the wing, and the young lads are saying A wing. It's for like the A wing is for like the young lads who are like 13, 14, and they put them in there before they put them in a bottle. So they put you in like a dispersal, dispersal in the prison. They watch you in prison, see what you like. Say just send him the easy jail, send him the hard jail because you're a little cunt. Send him where they're like tough screws in. So they assess you on the wing and what you like. So anyway, Lee's come in. He went, "Oh, Lee, that man there, he in that boxer there, that Sykes." He said he's raping everyone. He went, "He's what?" He said, "I fucking heard about this cunt." He said, "A few jails now. This I've heard this." He went. So anyway, he said, "Fucking stay near me." He said to all them Borough lads. So they're about 6 Borough lads. Anyway, they're coming off there. He's coming. So Sykes is on the. He's been boxing. No, he's boxing. He's been at the gym. So he's coming back through with 3 screws. Laughing and joking with the screws. So he said, "Oh, you fucking odds." So I can't say the word because you get banned off here. "You dirty fucking wronging." Touching kids up and that. He's shouting, "You fucking wronging." "Oh, you're talking now," he's shouting. So I start shouting. "Oh, then come on, fucking me, you Duffy," bouncing around like a fucking a cat on a hot tin roof. Like he could. 1 minute he'd be here, next minute he'd be around there because his legs. When he used to walk, it was like a black lad, the pounce, like that walk. A black lad, so he'd bounce all over. He had big, massive, long fucking arms, probably about 3 or 4 inches longer than mine. I've got massive long arms myself. So when he threw a punch, he could catch you from a mile off because he was that long. His arms, big, massive reach. Anyway, he's fucking come with then shout to Sykes. Sykes is like, "Ugh." Sykes grabbed the screw and put the screw in front of himself to fucking shit himself. So he stood near the radiator between the gates. So they shut the gates that side because you've got gates in the middle like that, and they shut like that side and that side. So they shut this side with Duffy and about 6 screwed with Duffy, stopping him, keeping him behind the gate, and he's trying to get out. But the screws have locked it, and anyway, he's over the other side and he stood with the 3 screws, fucking shitty ass Sykes, touching kids up and everything. So he used to go in the cells, and he used to have this thing. What he used to do, he used to get your television. When you get out, like say 7 o'clock till 8, you get telly watching the bill or something it's called. And I should say, hate the fucking thing. Why would you want to watch the fucking police on telly when they put you in jail, you silly cunts? Sitting watching the fucking bill, you're mental. So anyway, Lee, what do you think? Lost my story, this bastard. So fucking fuck my story here. I'm lost between 2 stories now. So yeah, so Lee's offering him out for a fight. So Sykes, he's gone on the wing upstairs. So they moved Sykes out to another wing up right all the way. And I think about 4 or 5 days later, he got moved out the jail. He got moved to Liverpool. He went to Liverpool, Sykes. And when he was in jail, there used to be a big, massive cat in there. Big ginger, massive cat. It was massive, and it used to kill the fucking the rats and stuff. So anyway, Bronson's telling the story. Charlie Bronson says, "We all looked out the windows because we were bored on a Sunday, so we watched the big cat walk about. It was a lovely cat. Everyone loved the cat, and they throw food out for him and everything." So the cat went missing for 2 days. This is Charlie Bronson telling the story. I think on electronic YouTube. I think it's on. Sorry, my nose is running. So next minute he goes, "So the cat, nobody seen a cat." Somebody said, "I wonder if the Scrooge dog's killed you, or I wonder if he's died of old age, or I wonder if he's fucking got an illness or something, or the rats have attacked it or something." So they're all going on these equations. 2 days later, that scumbag Sykes comes out with the Davy Crockett hat on. He killed the cat, strangled it, the dirty bastard, gutted the cat, and cut it up and everything, and fucking flushed it down the toilet and all the bits and bobs. Washed it all out and left it on the radiator, dry out, and made himself a Davy Crockett hat. And that's how fucking twisted that fucking Sykes is. And he did the same. He met a girl, a 13, 14-year-old, who was having sex with 2 kids, 13, 14-year-old Blackpool. And he ended up fucking seeing another one, 15-year-old. So he took her to Brighton because she had family there. And he went to Brighton with her on the run. And he went to Brighton. And when he was at Brighton, this is from the author, he said, when they woke up, he'd strangled the kitten. So that was 2 cats he killed. So that's a serial killer. That's a complete sociopathic fucking divvy. And that scumbag is in love with him. Can I play the part where Paul Sykes bums me? That's what he said in the fucking, we were going to do a movie with the BBC. And the BBC shut everything up and went, "Oh, we've got to go." And they fucked off out the train station. That's what he wanted to be. Bummed off Paul Sykes. Fucking weirdo. Pure weirdo. So going back to Lee. So Sykes is there, so Lee's in there. So when he got one, that fucking beast got what he used to do. So he was on the wing in Durham, Sykes, and what he used to do is he was the head cleaner at the air wing, like mopping the floors and that. And you see the kids coming in, like a fucking like a candy shop, like a big fat kid, look, the candy, get him, I'll get him, like proper fucking like a shark, like a fucking shark, like in the water, looking at them. I'll get him and get that one. No, they're very vulnerable, like Paddy said. He used to do it to vulnerable kids and vulnerable people, and force them to have sex. So he used to get a page 3 girl off a pornographic over 18 book, and put the paper on the page 3 on the back of him, or he'd get one out of a newspaper and put the page 3 girl, and look at the page 3 girl when he used to thing in from behind, grape them, and he's laughing at that dirty bastard, that little rat who's had me arrested, laughing at him doing that. That shows you how fucking sick that fucker is. So what he used to do, Teddy was telling me when he knew people were in there, Teddy did, what he done, Brand, he used to have all the chairs. One chair was for the screw, it was a white one, so that was a screw's chair. He'd sit on the front, and he'd keep, and then there might be one at the back, another screw, like one at the back, one at the front, watching you. So you'd sit down about 20 years old watching TV, maybe watch a film, because you get a film every 3 days. You used to get in Durham, so every 3 days you're entitled to a film. So you're all watching a film and that, and you're watching a film. So then you'd say, oh, cheers, everyone, go back to your cells. Anyway, you give your chair to the lad in the room. There was like a room, just a room on its own, and all the chairs would go in there. So there'd be brown chairs. All the chairs would go in there, and then the white chair would go to the front. So that's Sykes' party piece. So he put the white chair at the very front, and he'd say, a couple of kids, help us get these chairs, put them in here, lads. So they'd help them put them in. You know, and the units have just come in off the wing. Out of being locked up. They've just gone there to go to the Boston. So they're only 13, 14 years old, so they don't know what's going on. So he said, do us a favour, son, get to that one there. So he'd have all the chairs crushed around them. And he used to get to the chair, and he'd have to come through the chair, and he'd have to get to underneath the chair. You'd have to go and pull it out. And when he got in there, he should trap them in under the chair and fucking push them down on the chair and rip their underwear off and grape them in the fucking room. And it was happening every fucking day of the week with him. So when he got fucking chased off the wing and he went on the other wing, all the Middlesbrough score, like say Middlesbrough score against you, the bottom, they're all banging like fucking the doors like this. So the next minute, he went, Duffy's just out, went out, Duffy's just out, Paul Sykes shit himself, Sykes' ass was gone, Sykes shit himself, the non-Sykes, the beast Sykes, and the whole jail was going, Lee Duffy, banging on the doors and banging on the walls. I mean, the whole wing where all the kids were on, you know, like maybe 20, 30 young kids in there waiting to go into Bostels. They're all banging on the fucking doors like that. Lee Duffy, they'll scream. All the borough lads were like that. Are you Lee? Here's some, they'll give them tack and everything. Lee, I've got you some stuff. Passing out the windows. The whole jail went from miserable as fuck, all crying and getting raped and everything. Lee came in like the hero, saved all them kids from Borough, and all the other kids he was saved from that dirty bastard by chasing him off the wing. So Lee only stayed there about a week or so, and they moved him then to another jail. So the lad was telling me I was in jail with him. He said, he was good to me, right? So when I was in Armley, he said, I was in Armley in Leeds. It was full of black lads. It was all black lads with two big rasta hair right on the back, dreadlocks. So he said, I'll come in the cell. He said, I'm in the cell next minute, Lee, 2 turns up. I went, are you, Lee? He said, where are you from? He said, I'm from Borough. He said, are you, son? Are you all right? He said, you got any tack? He went, no. He said, you're getting up as a one up, Lee. He said, he always had the tack. Tack they used to call soap bars, tack. And he used to have squidgy black and slate and all that different stuff. Even though I didn't smoke it, I knew it because I used to sell it. You know, fucking brilliantly. So he said, I'm going to go. Then the next minute, bang, bang, bang on the door. Oh, you've had that fucking money now 2 weeks. I want that fucking money on the visit today. You're going to get it, you cunt. So he's like that, the young lad. Anyway, it's about 11 o'clock. Lee's just got in. So the bell goes for dinner time. So the doors, the bolts open. Out dinner, and they're opening the doors. Anyway, they're coming to want that fucking money today. So they were in like a gravy line. You went right along this big long corridor, and you turned left. So for this part here, Lee stood there, so they couldn't see. So when he walked up to the kid and said, you daft little cunt. He said, the kid went, he looked at the kid again and got out the cell. He said, get out the fucking cell now, I'm going to give you it back myself. So Lee made him come with me. He said, fucking stand with me now. Stand with me, he said. Don't be a fucking shit out. Stand with me. He said, oh no, they're the best fighters in here, Lee. They run the jail. Everyone's scared of them. He said, I'm not fucking scared of them. Come with me, stand with me. Trust me, he said. So Lee stood with him. The two yardies come up to him, yo, Lee went, poof. Hit one with the fucking right hand, and then he hit another one the left hook, sparked the both of them. And I was in jail with lads from Leeds who'd seen that, because I was in there, Wheelston finishing off. They said, I was there when Duffy knocked. He went, boom, right hook and left hook, knocked both of them clean out. One was body popping on the fucking floor. And we're all laughing at them because one was foaming at the mouth. He was having like a bit of a fit. He nearly took the fucking heads off them. He said, we know them, but we didn't want to get involved because they were a gang in the jail, but we'd have lost money. But he said he did knock the both of them out. He said he hit one with a fucking right hook and the left hook. He sparked the both of them. The one was body popping on the floor, the foam was coming out his mouth, and then they had to get the fucking people come round, like not paramedics, like the screws with a fucking stretcher and take them down the hospital. What a fucking mess he made of them. And actually they didn't ship them out. I think he had to go to hospital, get the jaws fucking lined up. They were a mess. He said they never fucking budged. And he come back on the thing, all the jaws. He said they never said fuck all to anyone again. Fucking one had a big metal thing across his face. He said he didn't have fucking sparkle. He said, but we only seen him in the dinner queue. That's the only time he was in there. So he went straight in, fucking done the two of them straight away. And the lad got to keep the gear because he still had the gear of these. Poor Lee. So he hated anything like that. He hated pedos. He used to say to me, two worst things in the world, Brian. Pedo. And the other one is there's no such thing as grass in the grass. So if somebody's grassing you up, you've got the title to go and make a statement against them because they're doing it against you. There's no such thing as grass in the grass. He used to always say that was his favourite thing. He said, but the worst of the worst are these snivelly cunts who giving gear to people and setting people up. He hated them same as I did. So that's why we started taxing every cunt, taxed them all. Went around all over Teesside taxing people. We go into clubs. People come up to us in the clubs and go, we've got some gear, but they've got more than us. So they would grass them. So we would tax them and leave them alone. It was fucking mad. So we might get like 300-400 quid off them in the gear. 200-300 quid. But we get £600 off them. He said, but in their house they've got gear. So this one was called Lippy Paul from Redcar. He had a gun. I ran all fucking like a cowboy gun. And he's telling me when he was going to shoot me, going to shoot Lee, and going to shoot the lad who was with us. So we had a lad driving us. So what we had to do in the end, he said, me and Lee go. We got an old banger of a car. And we had a young lad driving us. And he was only fucking, 20, 21, young lad. And he'd knock on the door. See, if they'd seen us at the door, they'd just run like fucking up through the rafters and run. We couldn't catch him, we were too fast. So we took somebody like the same age as them. Got a gear, mate. Such and such a centres. He said, oh, yeah, mate. And we both the door was in. We were straight in the door. So we went straight in. But with it being old Victorian houses, most of them used to have the gear in the top of in the loft, right at the top, in the attic, the attic. But there are beds in there. So we get the door in. And we'd run up the stairs. There was like 3 flights of stairs to get to the top. You had to be fit to be a taxman, believe me. So we goes to the door and boof, the door straight in. Anyway, he's just fucking only got the floorboards up. He's got the floorboards up in there. He's got a three key there, like then there. He's got 9 bar here, and he's got 3 9 bars there, and he's got 3 kilos there. And he's opened 1 kilo, and he's got 2 9 bars. He's been cutting them into teens and 20s and whatever the fucking and all that. So I said, forget about all that. So he was going to shoot us. So where's this fucking gun you've got going to shoot me? And he pulled this gun out. It was like a fucking. It was a proper gun. It was like, them cowboy, like what you see in the films, like one of them. What the fuck's that? It was like a starting pistol. It was like, and we went, what? That's you daft cunt. He said, I wasn't going to shoot. It was him. He was saying, not me. He said, no, you fucking got the gun. You bought it off Tommy Smith or whatever the name. They were arguing. They were grassing each other. The fuck me, like, were fucking loud. He said, well, I'll give you the gun here. Shoot me. He said, shoot me then. And I said, yeah, shoot me if you want then. So that with the gun. They shit themselves. One was called. Lippy Paul, he was called. Telling everyone he was going to shoot us, so we got the gear off him. Anyway, I took all the gear off him, nearly 4 key. So when the 9 bar he took out, and he had a 1/10 and a quarter. I said, look, we won't be horrible. You can keep the 1/10 and the quarter, however you want as you cut them. Or can you leave us a bit of gear? He said, I said, yeah, but that's what you get for telling people you're going to shoot us. So we said, you can have the 1/10 and the quarter. Leave us. So I'm like, fuck. He went, no, I'll give them the fucking 9 bar. So he gave him the 9 bar. I wasn't going to give him it because they were going to shoot us. So we goes to another one. This cunt, he's called. He ended up killing someone. This fucker, called him Jason, and he was a white rasta. His hair was jet black. Died, but he had blonde hair. The daft cunt. It was all dreadlocks, but he wanted to be black. Fucking divvy. But he lived with this girl. She's called the White Witch. Emma knows her. They call her White Witch because she had all these potions and stuff. Not these ones who were supposed to be nice and that. So in Redcar, there's a place called Leo's on the front, and over the road there's Sharkies. Now they're all Victorian buildings, like I said to you, like going back to the Victoria. So I've gone to see this. I've got in with him. They used to sell bits of cannabis, this lad. And he's got in with me. When she was in, but he wasn't there. She didn't know me. She had white hair. She was another white hair, like a Rasta, Dr. Martin boots and all that shit. And I seen anyway. So what he told, so he said to my mate in the pub, he said, Cockerill comes to my house. I was running. Cockerill comes to my house. I've got a bowling ball, that big. I've drilled it with a drill. And I've stuck drill bits in. I've stuck, you know, like that, not that, what was it you put in it? Drill bits. And bits of knives, you know, broke knives off and stuck knives in it and glued them in, like special glue, and they were solid. So it had this big spiky, like loads of spikes hanging out of it, and it was above the door, big massive bowling ball. And you had it on a piece of like rope or a string or whatever the fuck it was on. So we'd pull it when I'll come in and hit me on the head and kill me. So I found out all about the cunt, so I've got in. So instead of going in the way where he was on about, I kicked the back door and went in and grabbed him by the fucking throat, took him out the fucking house. You couldn't, where's your money? He went, oh, it's not here, it's such and such. So anyway, he wouldn't give that first. We took him down the gate. I kicked him in the fucking seat with a rope round him. I dragged him back up. He was fucking screaming like a pig. So he said, what are you fishing for, Brian? I don't know yet. Paul thinks it's shark. They've just messed about. So anyway, we pulled him back up. I'll tell you where it is. So £1,000 in them days. You're talking 1991, well, February 91. So we goes to his mum, we saw a guest house. And he was selling the gear and he was making good money. Could have got 2, 4, 5 grand off him because he was mouthing off. We got £1,100 off him. He's had £100 in his pocket. And I've got a knife off him. So he had a knife in his pocket. I never used it. I just given it to the lad who was with us. So I says, go in. I remember it. Just all of a sudden the skies opened up and it was fucking belting, bouncing off the floor. The rain, proper bouncing. And I thought, what if he just couldn't come out? I said, you don't come out. Believe me, I'll get you. We'll come back around the fucking house. I don't want to go where your missus is because I know about your ball and all. I should get rid of that. So about 6 weeks later, there was a lad. I won't say his name, John. I won't say his second name. He ended up fucking that lad I taxed ended up shooting him in alley, killed him. And what he done is he got the gun. And there's a place on there called the Boat with me Auntie Rena. She won 50 grand on the link. You know, the bingo. And she won, I think, 70 grand on she won 120 grand in 2 weeks. And she bought the boat there. It's a cafe and it's got boats on and everything. So he threw the shotgun in there. And what they've done is they took all the water out, pumped all the water out because they knew it was in there because they'd seen him on camera throwing the gun in the lake. And they found about 50 knives and about 20 guns in the lake from over the years. Took all the water out. And anyway, they nicked him. He got life off him. That one who said he was going to kill me. So these fuckers were dangerous and capable of killing you. They weren't some fucking mugs. They weren't fucking divvies. So why Lee Duffy got shot? So right, Lee tells me the story. Lee's out. And he goes to get this lad. This lad's been bragging, going to do this to Lee Duffy. And we're the most powerful people because he was in with Curtis Warren, this lad called Brian Charrington. They brought in, it was the biggest shipment ever in history in England. They brought it in. It was the biggest ones now, but at the time, £155 million worth of cocaine they brought in. Queen Anne, you know, them fireplaces. And they've taken the backs off them. They packed them with kilos of coke. It was from cartels from Colombia, and they brought them over a ship, and they dropped them off anyway. They got caught. Somebody grassed them up, and they all got caught. Charrington was the biggest supergrass in history. So he made statements against Curtis Warren, got him in jail and everything, that fucker. But he's working with these people. Now, this lad could fight. He was the ABA champion at 16 of Great Britain, proper boxing, not like these bullshitting countries. Just put his name out, you can see it in seconds. And so Lee said, I was going to tax him. So he went around his house. He said, I know you've got cocaine in that house. Go in that house now and get me an ounce and I'll leave you alone. So he went in the house. He was Craig Howard with him. He went in the house, come back, he gave him an ounce of coke. He went, I told you, this lad could fight, but Lee didn't give a fuck. So anyway, he took the ounce off him. So this lad got a beat his bonnet over it because he was worth a lot of money. The millionaire he is, multi-millionaire. And they were doing all the speed and everything for years and years. Big dealers for Liverpool. I wasn't in it that big. I didn't want to be that fucking high up because MI5 and all that shit. I was up the top of the E, but not with the coke and all that. It's just too much fucking, too dangerous for that stuff. You just go to fucking jail for life because more people are getting killed through that and heroin and stuff than anything. The ecstasy wasn't killing people apart from the odd one overdosing, but people weren't going out killing people off their edge on like crack or coke. People got with crack and coke and got and kill people because they're mental, because they need more drugs. So anyway, Lee's gone to this lad's door and he says, "Oh, you won't tax me and you won't do this." So Lee's gone to the door and he's found out this lad's got, I think it was 5 key, I think, might have been less, whatever, say 4 or 5 key. And he's gone in the house because this lad had tipped him off in the pub, so he's getting whatever, say 4 or 5 key dropped off certain time. So he's got in the house about an hour after he's seen the lad, because we've seen the lad in the house. And Dad used to have a convertible Volkswagen Golf. And Lee's gone, knocked on the door, grabbed by the throat and goes upstairs. It was a flat he lived in at the top. It was a house. It was a house downstairs and a flat at the top. People had obviously rented downstairs. So he's gone upstairs, walked in the room. Anyway, he's looking about like that, looking for the cannabis. Anyway, he sees this carpet on the floor. He steps over the carpet and he looks at the side. He's looking over there. 5,000 ecstasy, they were called strawberries. So they're £1 a piece. It was £2.50 to sell. When you bought them as £1, you sold them up for £2. I used to get for £1. I think I'll get for £1 now, sell for £2.50. So they were brilliant. I used to get £1,500 a week, and then they were fucking just paper, little bit, just paper. That's all they were. Little perforated holes in them. So anyway, Lee took the 5,000 off and put them away. He said, "Where's the cannabis?" He said, "There is none." He said, "I only got them instead." He said, "You never had no." So he stepped over the carpet again, walked on the stairs. So he's fucked off. Couldn't get it. Anyway, so the lad's gone down the town saying, "They got the 5,000, he the big daft cunt." He said the carpet had 5 key underneath it because he put the gear in the carpet and it was rolled in the carpet and he was stepping over it. Like up about 4 times and the fucking cunt, I'll smash his fucking face in. Anyway, so what happened is they put a contract in him then. So the people put a contract from Middlesbrough, paid £5,000 to get him shot, and the lad who shot him was from I knew him, I met him in jail. He was from Durham he was from, and he came down. So Lee's having the joint, that daft cunt, that fucking crank who written in a book about Lee Duffy said, Lee was stood there, because Lee shows me the stuff. I'm with Lee Duffy. A couple of days later, he showed me the story, and telling me the story, telling me face to face, and that crank's trying to tell me about what happened to me, Lee Duffy. What a fucking crank you are, you fat cunt. Fat ginger cunt. So he stood at the doorway, and Lee used to come outside and have a joint and talk to people outside and have a laugh and mess chatterbox and kiss about and that. And he'd come outside and have a drink. He didn't drink a lot of alcohol. He didn't drink. He never swore in front of women or kids either. He never got really screamed at people. He just was dead calm when he was fighting. Dead, keep yourself calm, he used to say. Keep all your energy and all your emotions in and just go be blank. And then you're like completely blank. You last longer, your energy lasts longer, he said. So anyway, he's there. So this lad's pulled up the car, boom, woke up. One's jumped out, one's in the driver. The other one's jumped out with the shotgun. So he's pointed the shotgun at Lee like that. Lee's about 6 feet away. So the lad went, like I said, I seen him do it, like pull that. So it's like he pulled it dead quickly, jumped in the head, split his legs like that. So that he got shot in the knees, and he got about, I don't know, 10 shots went in his legs, in his knees, and in his shins and things like that. But it took most of the pellets weren't big pellets either. They were only ones where you shoot fucking like pigeons or something. So they shot him, and he jumped in the head, split his legs. So this is the other version of the so-called, that daft little cunt. He went, Lee was stood here like this, he said. And all of a sudden this car pulls up. It's about 12 foot long. And Lee jumped in the air and did a somersault and landed up in the air like this. Landed up in the air. And he turned round and the car drove under him. And he just landed on the back of the bonnet of the boat with his feet. Then jumped off the car and and punched both of them. Fucking pure shite. Absolute shite. He did a somersault over the top of the car driving by standing still and just doing a somersault like that. Or is it The Matrix? The shite he puts in books is terrible, you know. I wouldn't even fucking give it. I wouldn't even let him read it. I'd give my book away what he done. It was that much shite he put in, and I forgot to proofread it. I just binned the cunt. I took it off the shelves and binned the cunt, burnt it. I burnt the books. The fucking shit he puts in them books. He hasn't got a clue what he's talking about. He's never been there in that world. He's never been in that tax game and tax and drug dealing and fucking fight. He's never fight his life. And he's writing books about people and telling me, "Oh no, that never happened." I said, "Wait a minute." I said, when we went to the pool, I went, "Oh, what's the pool hall?" Now, anyone from South Bank will tell you straight away the pool hall was the place where you went. You played pool in there. It had green and yellow seats. Were bolted to the floor like plastic ones that you get at the beach, you know, when you go play bingo and that. And what you used to do, there was one arm bandits and that. They used to come in with about 4 or 5 quid and go scramble, and all the kids would get on the money on the floor. So we go in one night, and one day, sorry, it was Wednesday afternoon. I remember it was pissing down. Went in, had a big jacket on, and one of them puffer jackets in blue colour. It was fucking beautiful. It was. Goes in, and it was 3 or 4 kids. I think 3 of them had coats, and one said, "Where's your coat?" And he hadn't got a coat. He went, "Here, put that on." It was fucking drowning. He was only about 13-year-old, but he took his about £400 coat. He got it from the top of the range shop in Liverpool, and he gave the fucking coat off his back to a kid who had no fucking it was so come that young kid about 13. He was good like that for kids. He was down South Bank. This is funny. So he's down South Bank. He's took 4 kilos off someone of gear, but he's left 2 in the house, I think, and he's took 2 to the shop. He's got no scales to weigh the gear up so he can sell it. You have to weigh the gear like teens and ounces and stuff. So he's made it weight in ounces. Where do you think he's gone? He's gone to the local shop where you go in, you get like your potatoes and that, and you weigh your stuff with the scales. He's only using the scales where people weigh the potatoes on and everything. And he's grabbed the other one where you put the sweets on, you get ounces of sweets. So he's weighing the fucking, all the people in the shop, about 20 people. All right, Lee, you're all right, you're no problem there, you own the shop. He's there with the fucking thing, he's weighing up the ounces on the fucking, where you put the sweets on. That's an ounce, put that in there. That's an ounce, put that in there. He done fucking 2 kilos in ounces, which is like, in the shop in front of everyone in the fucking shop, and went out. And then he got to South Bank and they went, "What are you doing, Lee?" He said, "Oh, we're just trying to get a bit of money for a 9 bar. Not so far, sort of a bit of tack, about a teen or something." He said, "Here." He gave him a fucking 9 ounces. Give him fucking that's like 900, well, £150 an ounce, I think it was in the old days. It was really dear then. They were called 9 bars, soap bars. They were called. They used to have bits of record plate, no bits of records in them. And that used to come from Spain. They used to put them in their thing and crunch them down, and they'd send them over to England, and they'd have bits of plastic in them, all sorts, fucking pieces of records and all sorts to try and make them weigh more. Yeah, so he gives the kids a 9 bar, but he's only in the fucking shop weighing the fucking gear in the fucking shop, and then going around selling it in ounces around all over Teesside. Fucking hilarious he was. He was funny. He was funny. Yeah, it was like that. It was like just like that. Yeah, to be like spikes in it, but he made his own over like drill bits and that. He stuck drill bits in, and oh, he's a fucking idiot. Well, you know, Peter the Fox and Manordich, the OK Manordich, Simon Page in the house. These fucking loads on the night. I didn't think there was that many people. I thought I'll be watching the football. Yeah, so we used to fucking go around taxing. Only the wrong ones. We sometimes we'd go and take something off someone and find out they're good people and give the fuckers it back. I took 12 key off a lad, a cannabis, who was called Bandy from Middlesbrough, dead now. And we took it out. He used to have a Cosworth. And I was in my cousin, I took it off him and I got a phone call from Liverpool. It was the lads who used to work with Liverpool that went dry. You tell us stuff that, you know, big fella. I went, are you joking? I said, leave it with me. Before that, I said, get that, so bring it back round. Put it straight back in the boot of his car. And I said, sorry about that, lads. They said, no. So they said, there's a present there for you. And he gave us the kilo for giving us it back. The lad from Liverpool. Good firm they were. I said, no, I don't this. I said, fucking, no, you've been fucking good enough to us. He said, they'll teach them. I'll take it out of their fucking money for fucking running about like idiots. I said, they're running about all over, selling it, all the gears in the back of the boat instead of taking one at a time or two, dropping them off. And the daft cunts have got the whole lot in one go. Stupid bastards. Amateur night. We used to have a kid who was about 20-year-old, and he used to run for the county. He could do 100 metres in 11 seconds. So what I used to do, if I was going to say I was going to Sunderland to drop, say, 1,000 E off, you're talking 20 grand because the E's are 20 quid each. 1,000 each, £20,000. You can't afford to lose that much money. So I used to have a lad who used to have a bum bag on, so it wouldn't drop. So because you've got a bag in your hand, it's hard to run with and stuff. This kid was about 10 now, 11 stone. Run like fuck, got him all the best of trainings, every fucking day. I used to get him looked after him. And I used to give him like 100 quid or something if he'd come with us, you know, for a run, or 200 quid sometimes, whatever it was. So I'll go up to Sunderland. So we comes along, and if what he used to do, he used to be in the back seat. And the cops would come No, he'd be in the front seat, sorry, and the cops would come, and they'd say the cops would come, and I would pull over, and then he'd jump out, so he'd be gone. So then I'd drive forward a little bit when he jumped out, and then they'd come after me. So by the time they've done this, he's got about 5, 6, 7, 8 seconds. 10 seconds, he's done 100 metres. And them fucking squaddy drivers will not get out and run after you. Because they're all big, tall, 6 foot. Nearly all of them are big, tall ones, big coppers. They can't run, so this kid's over there. So we used to have a party piece where we'd say, oh, he's just said, I've just been coming down the motorway there, officer. And the kid picked him up at the roundabout near Sunderland. He was wanting to drop it off. I said, what's the matter? He said, oh, I've got a warrant out for me arrest for fines. So I said, I can't stop him getting in the car. He said, all right, then. Get the car searched. He got fuck all. And he'd be waiting somewhere on the phone. I'd just phone him back on the phone, say where he and you say such and such, like a code word. Like whatever, black and white or something that would be like in the post office or something. So we always had code words and everything. So we'd phone up for say we were phone Liverpool, we'd phone and say, oh, the BM's fucked. I need 2 tyres, that would be like 2 kilos of coke. Or you'd phone up and say like, I need fucking 4 of them things for the wagon. I said the head gaskets have gone, I need 4 such and such, or the fucking valves gone or whatever. I need 6 valves. That'd be like say 6 kilos of 6 kilos of cannabis or something. So it was all different codes. Never ever mentioned it. I never put names down in the piece of paper. I used to remember everything in my fucking head. Memory was brilliant. Yeah, so we used to do that in the day. You can't do it now. It's fucked. There's that many grasses now. There's that much intelligence now, like computers that watch you from the fucking anywhere now. The cameras anywhere in your house or anything. You can't get away with it no more. So the coppers haven't got more clever. The technology and the scientists and the DNA and all that shit. They're the ones that work clever now. That's why there's loads of people in jail all the time now. They're all grassed each other up as well now. There used to be a lot of code of morals. Nobody fucking grassed each other up. Every time I went to jail, I got remanded. Nobody come in jail with me. I never the blue pill with me. I'd go to have a fight with someone. There'd be like 20, 30 people there. They'd always remember that name. So they'd come for me and nick me, or they'd have pictures of me. And I'd get nicked. He said, right, over with you, because all you do with that hoods and stuff like that. You could tell me a mile because I was that fucking big. And I would go to jail and remand 4 months, and they would sort the trouble out while I was in jail. So that was a good thing. If you were in jail, you knew you're going to get out, because the crew you had from all Wolf, different Liverpool lads, Manchester lads, Newcastle, Sunderland, all over the place, we had people, Bob Bradford and all sorts working with us, that they would come down with the crew and just fucking go and see them and say, listen, you need to behave yourself, give them a couple of grand and they just drop the charge, or some of you broke the jaw, you give them 5 grand compensation, which is 5 grand was out, we were fucking making that on the door in one night, so sometimes more, 10 grand a night. So it was just fucking mad. The money we were making just was hand over fist. I'd like half a dozen cars on my fun, all top of the range cars, like fucking BMWs, fucking a 635 BMW. I had a 928 Porsche. I had a 911 Porsche. I had 2 Cosworths. I had 6 Cosworths in the end, but over the years I bought and sold them. I had all sorts of different cars. Never wanted for now. I lived in a restaurant every day. We used to go there. It cost me sometimes 50, 60 quid a day in a restaurant. In Central Park in Middlesbrough was the best restaurant in Teesside. Never ever had to worry about fucking money, but we always had it. And when we got the gear, so we got one, just the last story. So this fucking was another mouthpiece. So he's telling everyone that he's doing the speed, he's spelling all the speed in Hartlepool, because a couple of lads doing it over there, because certain places, Redcar's full of speed. Not Hartlepool's not as much, but this kid was doing it. He's telling everyone he was going to do this, that, and the other. So I've gone looking for him. And I'm out with these lads for about, this is the league passed away now, it's about 92, 93. We were driving all over the Cosy. We've been out about 6, 7 hours, 8 hours. I was an hour's bored. And Lisa said, well, you've got to keep at it. We need to have you out all day. So we've got to hit. But anyway, we go to this fucking place. And now nobody in. So he said, there's only other one place he's got. He's got a caravan up there, Crimden Dean, on the way up towards Durham Way. So goes to this caravan park. This kid takes us. We give him like 100 quid. Shows me where the caravan is there. So I went bum and nudged the lock, and it was only a shitty little caravan, like a 2-bedroom caravan. As soon as I opened the door, cat piss, because that's what speed smells like. Oh, it's fucking stunk. This isn't just a little bit. So we're looking all over in the top, pulling drawers out, looking near the floor bits, pull the vents out on the wall and all that, and then it goes near the cooker. Smell the fucking smell. Anyway, I opened the cooker like that. It was 36 grand with the speed when we weighed it all out. We worked out 36 grand. So we sold the lot to a lad for 26 grand. So we all ended up getting a massive drink. So I said to the lad, I thought you didn't want you want to go home, don't you? You fucking morning cunt. And after that, he never moaned again because the money he could have lost. So we sold straight away to someone, and we got the money, just. But like we said, we used to spend it like fucking water, giving kids it like on the streets and that. What fuck all? You got somebody's house, maybe like 20 kids in the front, say, yeah, give them all a 10 each or something. Like fucking kids, they loved it when you're the young kids. And you still see them now. I remember the time you meet me and my friends, 20 quid each, Brian. We're all going to the beach, and you give us £100 between the five of us. You know what I mean? But they never forget them stories, them kids. Right, guys, I'm going to go because I'm going to watch the football. I've done an hour. Some more stories tomorrow about the taxing and other bits and bobs. So I hope you enjoyed the stories, and God bless you all. And thank you for watching. And don't forget to be positive. Think positive, you'll be positive. Think negative, and you'll be negative. So yeah. So yeah, to all the poor guys like Speedy and Bam Bam and Kev Howard and Peter O and Tommy O and fucking Paul Debrick and all them, they've all gone, and all fucking gone. Lee Duffy, Viv Graham, all fucking gone. Well, there's only a few of us left now. Not many left. Not many of us left. Yeah, what have I done here? It's brilliant, this thing to turn the telly off. Turn the computer off. The other one was shite. The button. Brilliant.